Okay, when you first start out and you just install the studio, you will come to this page and you might see titanium updates available, and everything. You should get this. If you installed it on a Windows, you will get updates right away because there is something you don't download with the studio files that you still need when you start it out. What you should make sure is that you have a green light on Android SDK, and if you are on a Apple machine like a Mac, it would be preferred if you have installed the iOS SDK as well. The way you install the iOS SDK, of course, you can find a lot of information on the internet and also on Appcelerator's pages, home pages, web pages that I sent you. But if you install Xcode, you have the iOS SDK installed already. So the only thing you have to do is install the Xcode. And how are you going to get the Xcode? Well, go to Apple Development and sign up for development. You don't have to pay anything, just sign up for development and don't pay when they ask for it. Then you have access to installing the iOS SDK, Xcode. Just to show you, the Xcode you want to install is looking like this. Welcome to Xcode. As you can see, my version is pretty old, but it really doesn't matter for now. Okay, back to Studio. We now have green at Android SDK and iOS SDK. If you click on these, you can go and update your Android SDK, for example, which is the most difficult one. As you can see here, I have installed Android 3.0 and also Android 2.3.3. The reason why I installed 2.3.3 is that it is required by the Titanium Studio. And after that, you can actually install whatever you like. So if I want to install the 4.4.2, maybe a newer one even, the 4.4.2 and maybe the 4.3, you go to configure and you go and accept this one, and then it will install. So it is that easy. But remember to take the 2.3.3. If you have any trouble, like you have installed it but it doesn't show the green light, then try to restart Titanium. Just shut it down and then restart it. The whole thing. Not the computer, but Titanium. And while this is installing, I can just hide it. As you can see here, we have our outline. We have nothing in here. And up here we have the possibility, if we right click, we can create a new mobile app project. If we do that, we have two options over here. We have Alloy and we have Classic. And the Classic one is the one that we use for this class, but the Alloy is very interesting. But for now we're using the Classic one. As you can see, there are some predefined projects, and to start out we would like to create a default project. And for the project name, my first project, an app ID has to be a inverted URL. So if you use dkeal.app mdam dot my first dot my first project. That's an inverted URL. If you add something unique in here, it won't override an already existing app that you have. So this is quite important that it is unique every time. As you can see, I have a lot of version of my Titanium SDK, but I did find out that for right now, without any updates, I'm using 3.2.1 because it fits my setup right now. You can cloud enable your application, but when we are just doing some testing and finding out how it works, it's okay not to do that. Finish up, and now we are inside our project. Okay, as you can see, I have the TApp XML. The TI app XML is actually controlling what modules you have installed. You can also change your deployment targets, and in here you can change your app ID if you have made any mistakes. And you can change the version number, which might be important for you guys. And under resources, you will put all your files, even if it is images or it is code. All code will be in JavaScript. Right here is a build example from the default template, which is working with a tab group and 2 windows, and a label on each window so we know where we are. So this is your work area. If you go up here and select Windows, Open Perspective, there is an option for you that you can choose which calls Studio Extended. If you choose this one, down at Outline you now have samples, snippets, and you also get your console down here. Your samples, under samples you have kitchen sink, and with kitchen sink you can right click on it and import sample as project, and after that you will have a project like this, which is containing a lot of code, which I will show you in just a minute.